Hey everyone, Sean here, and today in this video I wanted to make a video regarding to the Game Awards of this year, 2021. The nominees have been announced as of recent, and the voting has just commenced. So I wanted to put in my vote, but also my opinion about most of the choices, or not a lot of these choices for this year. So let's just start, I guess, from left to right, top to bottom type of thing, and just go with Game of the Year first off. So this year has been pretty dry overall, I have to say. Not a big load of AAA games or highly anticipated games. You have your Witcher 3s and your Last of Us Part 2s, or I don't even know why I said Part 2s, but you get the point. Uncharted's and the God of Wars, you know what I mean? Like the big blockbuster games. It was very dry in comparison to like the last few years. We've been getting a lot of those games, but this year, not so much. Not to say that any of these games here are bad or anything like that, but you know what I mean? It's got that like games with that sort of marketing and that hype and that build up and whatever. For the most part, it's not here. I mean, Resident Evil Village, yes, that's probably the biggest one or the closest thing to that sort of thing, that vibe. But otherwise, yeah, Ratchet and Clank, I can kind of see it. But definitely these other games, I don't feel so much. But with all that said, let's just get to the choice. I'm gonna go for Metroid Dread because I actually play the game and I really did like it for what it is. I had my review out and I thought it was a really fun game. Not only that, it just revisits the classic format of gaming, and it just really tickles those notes, or tickles those fancies, right? And it really hits those classic notes of gaming, including the challenge, the exploration, just that it's just classic gaming at its best, at its finest on a modern console. In this case, the Nintendo Switch. So I thought this was, while a interesting pick for Game of the Year, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it just because this is the only one I actually played, and I really liked it for what it is, or was, and that's gonna get my vote for this one. Okay, so Metroid Dread, I really liked it, so I think it deserves Game of the Year. But if there's any other one that deserves it, it's kind of hard to say. Maybe Psychonauts 2. I don't know. I mean, Deathloop, right? I mean, it's in one of those games where the marketing has been too much, or too much in our face, I guess. And I don't know. I don't know. There's something about it that really made people, including myself, kind of not like the game just from face value, and that caused a rift. But once the game came out, not so much. It kind of blew over at this point. There's no like bugs or glitches or anything like that, like Battlefield and GTA Trilogy Remaster or whatever as of recent. Nothing like that from what I understand. So I think the game overall is a good package, it seems like, from what I've been judging, or from like the lack of a volatile reaction. I guess it says something. So that's pretty much the feelings I have for these games. I mean, I have not played the rest of them. Seeing Resident Evil Village is definitely up there because of the presentation, the overall sort of showmanship, or the value that it brought to this year's lineup of games. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's definitely up there for overall just impression and the praise and the memories, I guess, and experiences that people will have got from this game. I can definitely see this taking it for Game of the Year. I think Resident Evil Village does have potential to do that. The surprise pick, maybe It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2. I don't know. I don't think Ratchet and Clank will take it, as pretty as the game was to look at, or impressive it is from a fidelity standpoint, but I don't know. I don't have too much feelings about it. So that's it for Game of the Year. Let's move on. Let's get the video going. So, best game direction. So we have Deathloop once again. It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank. The only thing different is Returnal. So none of these games, unfortunately, I've played, so I can only just vote based off of like what I know of the game. So we may go back and forth with it too. I don't know if I can change my vote during this process, but we'll see. There may be some changes because I do want certain games win certain categories and stuff like that. So we'll just go with maybe Psychonauts 2 for right now, just because from what I can understand, this is a game that a lot of people have been waiting for. The art direction, the sort of the visual side of things is interesting, and the sort of that retainment when it comes to what you know and stuff like that seems to be there, but I can't speak on those sort of feelings or opinions. But I think when I can remember, people liked it, so I'll just go with that for right now. We'll see about that. So let's go with the next one, which is Best Narrative. Once again, these three games, the Psychonauts 2, It Takes Two, and Deathloop are there. The difference is Life is Strange: True Colors and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this was a surprise pick because the way the game was presented was a lot different, or not a lot different, but there were some things that drove me away from buying the game myself, making that purchase. But from what I can understand, the game is good. The people who actually played it do really like it, so I do respect it from there. Otherwise, really, I don't have anything else to say about the other games. Life is Strange, I mean, it was interesting at first, but now it's like in this direction where I just don't care anymore, unfortunately. And there were some things to be had, like the streamer mode where the music is just completely gone instead of replacing with something. So there were some segments where it was very awkward because of the streamer mode. But other than that, that's all I can remember from this game. I can't really speak on the other games. So best narrative, I don't know. Story wise, maybe I mean, this is such a like there are plenty of other games that have best narrative, right? I would even think I thought Tales of Arise had a good story or good narrative. I've been playing Lost Judgment as of recent, and I really liked the story for that one. So I think, in my opinion, that game got robbed when it comes to being part of the nominations, especially for best narrative. I think the narrative is so engaging, and I really like the story. So I don't know. I mean, I think it deserves the nomination. I would have definitely picked that, bar none. But just for the sake of voting, I guess I'll just go with Guardians of the Galaxy because that's what I know. I mean, I'm the most familiar with the media or the franchise, right? So maybe It Takes Two maybe deserves it better, but I don't know. Can't really say. Art direction. Okay, so visuals, right? Most of these ones I am familiar. Artful Escape, not as much. I really can't say how the game looks, as I've actually never seen much of it or really remember from the top of my head. All the other ones I do. So Ratchet and Clank, it's very much like it's a stress test for graphics, right? But it does have that cartoonish look with the anthropomorphic designs. So there is the appeal for me for there. But Psychonauts 2, definitely, it's very psychedelic, so obviously there's gonna be a lot of colors, right? So Kenna is also an interesting one. I do like the character designs. Deathloop does have its own distinct look as well, and I do respect it on that part. But if I had to pick one just from the artistic side of things, I'm just gonna go with Psychonauts 2. I think the designs are the most interesting, or it just kind of speaks out to me for some reason. I have all these ones anyway. So art direction is done. Best score and music. Couple of familiar faces, right? Except for Nier and Near Replicant, and Cyberpunk 2077. Now, the music was good in Cyberpunk. I will say that's one of the only credits I will give for this game. And this game went through a lot of fire, in the worst way possible. Again, with Artful Escape, I can't really say much. When it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, if you really look at the actual soundtrack, I mean, or the overall soundtrack, it's, you know, a lot of the songs that you're familiar with. I mean, 80s and stuff like that, but I don't know the exact songs in there, but that's just what it comprises of. So, I feel like it's a little cheating on that one, but, you know, music does play a big part in Guardians of the Galaxy when it comes to character lore, especially with Star-Lord, right? Or aka Peter Quaid, I think his name was. So when it comes to Cyberpunk, though, there are, for the most part, original soundtracks, like from like mostly original soundtracks. So I actually enjoy the music for the atmosphere and stuff like that, and how it fitted. But I think for the most part, I'm just gonna go with Nier. You know, these two, Cyberpunk and Nier, funny enough, they're both about robots, but you know, are probably the closest sort of competition setup type of things going on here. But Near Replicant is probably gonna take it just because, you know, I do really like the soundtrack. So, oh, I didn't even know Okabe or Keiji Okabe did this one. But anyway, so I didn't really think about that. Anyway, move on from there. IO design. Well, when it comes to the sound effects and stuff like that, I feel like it's either Village, Returnal. I don't know, actually. I mean, a lot of it comes from the voice acting, right? I mean, do really people care about the sound effects in Resident Evil, you know, over the voice acting? So I think either way, or it's either Returnal maybe for me, or Deathloop. And you know what, I'm just gonna go with Deathloop just because I am gonna vote Returnal for something in other later categories. Best performance. Okay, so a little bit more up my alley in a way, because I am familiar with just a couple of actors. But anyway, as much as I do love Giancarlo Esposito as, you know, Breaking Bad's Gus Fring, his performance with the villain for Far Cry 6, Anton Castillo, didn't bring out the most of what I really liked about Esposito. It's hard to explain, but basically it just, while, you know, his performance, what was given, is good, but I don't think it's like one of the more memorable roles that Esposito has had. He's you know, of course, Gus Fring is probably the most memorable so far, but his performance, I forget his name, he's the villain from The Mandalorian, you know, felt more memorable than here from what I've been seeing with Far Cry 6. I don't own the game, but I've been watching it, so yeah, so that's just kind of like my feelings about it here. Maggie Robertson, I think, honestly, I that's like my personal favorite, so I'm gonna have to go with that one just because of her performance as, you know, Lady Dimitrescu, is so memorable in comparison to a lot of the video game character performances for this year. I think she deserves a pick. Just before, during, and after Resident Evil Village has come out, you know, she's still like kind of riding on that the sort of that hype train with the, you know, with all the attention she's been gaining and the views and stuff like that. You know, definitely when the game came out, she was very much on, you know, social media because of, you know, of course, her performance as Lady D. So, I think she deserves it, in my opinion. It's just the most memorable and most entertaining, and you know, it really holds the most out of all these choices. So, games for impact. You know what? Not much to say, so I'm gonna go with Life is Strange just because that's the most familiar I am with. So, best ongoing. Okay, so I did have some things to say about Genshin Impact. While the character, it's interesting they used the Tarkaglia and Toma art for this one, but anyway, while the characters are cool, the events, mostly Inazuma was cool, of course, that's a given. But when it comes to the rest of them, the rest of the stuff has been very mid. The anniversary rewards felt very, very underwhelming, if anything, right? They just, I don't know how they screw it up. They didn't even like do anything, you know, with it much. They just said happy anniversary, and that's pretty much it. Like, we didn't get any like special events when it comes to the rewards and whatever, the summoning and stuff like that. The wishes did not come, unfortunately. The free wishes did not come. There are some cool things for the new content this year, but man, like the way they just reward players is just so underwhelming, to put it lightly. But other than that, I don't really play the rest of these games except for Apex Legends. I've been playing that a lot this year, and it's also kind of the same sort of road, if I am going to be honest. Sort of, right? The battle pass has been pretty mid, but at least they reward skin. They gave you skins, unlike Genshin. The battle pass rewards are still fun, I guess, in comparison to Genshin's battle pass rewards. So, and I do like the overall gameplay feel and stuff like that, and the shooting and the satisfaction and stuff. You know, the dopamine I do get from Apex Legends. I'm gonna give it to this one, so that is my vote for that category. Best indie, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Kenna. I never played any of these games. This one looked the most like up my alley type of thing. 12 minutes, I kind of heard things about it, but other than that, I think I'm just gonna give it to Kenna. Best mobile game. Interesting. So Genshin Impact is still up there. Pokemon Unite. Now, they've been patching the characters and stuff like that, and they've been adding more characters and skins and stuff like that, so as much as I do really like Genshin Impact still overall, I'm gonna give it to Pokemon Unite, man. I think this is gonna be a bit of a hot take, but the way they reward players and stuff like that is much more fulfilling. And I did play it myself too for a little bit, and for what it is, it's okay. But you know, it's this type of gameplay or genre or whatever, it's just not for me or up my alley too much. But from the way they treat their players in comparison to Genshin Impact, you know, it's a lot more endearing to put it that way. That is one way to put it. Than Genshin Impact. So that's it on that one. Community support. I'm just gonna give it to Apex Legends because I do play the game. While No Man's Sky, yeah, you know, that deserves something, right? I'm just gonna give it Apex Legends. They are trying to address the disconnection issues and the whole DDoSing thing. It's still a problem quite a bit, but they're trying, I guess, so I'll give it to them, I guess. Innovation and accessibility. You know, I guess I'll give it a Far Cry 6. Since I haven't really voted for that one at all, so. And at one point I did want to get the game, but I kind of fell off of that. VR game, I'm gonna give it a Resident Evil 4. Just from the clips I've seen. I think it's pretty funny. Okay, best action game. I am definitely gonna give that to Returnal, because I respect that the most. The stuff I've seen. Yeah, I think it deserves the category. There's not really much to say, surprisingly. Definitely not Back 4 Blood, that's for sure. Best action adventure. Ooh, okay, so... Oh, man, once again, I'm gonna have to give it to, Metroid Dread. Hopefully it wins this one, at least. If it doesn't win the Game of the Year. I have a feeling Resident Evil might take it, but you never know, right? So... Best role-playing game. I'm definitely gonna give it a Tales of Rise, because I really like the game. Cyberpunk, man, oh man, it is such a disappointment, dude. Like the foundation is there. It was fun for what it was, but gosh, man, it could have been so much bigger than what it is right now. It was half baked. It needed more time in the oven, right? We all know by this point. You know, I made my piece about it. It needed more time, man. It could have been one of the biggest games of this generation, if not the biggest. I don't know. It could have been, right? But now at this point, that's far from happening. You know, they had to get it right at launch, and you know, they let money get the best of them, especially for the executives and all the higher members of, you know, CD Projekt Red. They let that slip so badly. This could have been something so big, and they let it just fail. So, so Tales of Rise, I really like the story. I really like, you know, the characters, the combat, the RPG of course, the RPG aspects of the game, the gameplay, you know, everything, man. The way characters have progressed and all that stuff. It was just a fun JRPG. So, best fighting game. Okay, so I did play most of these games, like Melty Blood, Nickelodeon, Strive. I have not played Demon Slayer, but from what I can understand, it looks cool. Virtua Fighter 5. It's a respectable pick, right? But I haven't played it, but it's a respectable pick. I'm gonna have to go with Strive, as much as the lobby sucked. The overall gameplay and such, I think they nailed it really right. The graphics look really good. The core center of Guilty Gear Strive is really good. I would say very more than respectable. I mean, there are some good things about Melty Blood too, but you know, in Nickelodeon, right, there is respect equally in their own right. With the material, right, with the franchise that they're dealing with, you know, obviously with Nickelodeon. You know, even with the lack of voice acting, right, you know, it's a bunch of passionate Smash fans that made this game. So for what it is, it's fine, or it's fun, good old dumb fun with friends. You know, it's a good Smash clone, and it's fun. That's all I can say. But Melty Blood, I like it for what it is. But yeah, Stripe is actually gonna take it. Absolutely. And yes, I have a lot of fun with Potemkin. Anyway, best family game. Funny enough that these are almost Nintendo games. You don't know where else to put them except for Metroid Dread. They put that in some of the bigger ones. Anyway, it Takes Two. Somehow made it in there. It bled in there. I'm gonna go with Pokemon Snap. That's the one I played, and I really had fun with it. You know, it's a good old Pokemon Snap game from the old days, and it's the perfect game on the Switch. Sim and strategy. Okay. Not much to say. So, Flight Simulator. Sports and racing. Okay, I'm gonna give it a Hot Wheels because it looks really fun. Oh, Riders Republic though. I actually really wanted to play that game. Whenever I get the chance. So, but for right now, I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say between these two. You know, they're both games I do want to play eventually. I'm just gonna go with Hot Wheels because Hot Wheels is cool. So anyway, but it was pretty close. It was a pretty hard pick. Best multiplayer, I'm gonna go with Monster Hunter Rise, even though it is dry post game. When you are playing through the main content, it's fun. I had a lot of fun with it, especially with friends. It was a blast playing it. And I did like the overall gameplay mechanics for Rise, especially with the wire bugs and stuff like that. Really added a lot more fun for some of the weapons, especially. So, and just like the stuff they did with the weapons, right? I think that it was really cool. And you know, it's on the Switch too, so that is all I got for that one. Oh boy, content creators. I don't know what was the exact stuff going on with Dream, but because I'm most familiar with Dream, even though I don't really watch his content either, but just from the name alone, I'm most familiar with Dream. I guess I'll pick Dream. But I think there was something going on with Dream. I forget what it was, but I don't really care much at this point. As much as I don't care about the other content creators in that nominee in that category. Okay. Let's see. So best indie debut. I already voted Kenna somewhere, so I guess I'll do Artful Escape. I feel like that's gonna win something, so might as well. Most anticipated game. I'm just gonna go with my boy Link. So the sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I like that title. I like that title. That's pretty funny. Other than that, I am interested in God of War Ragnarok because I do want to play God of War at some point. You know, and there are people who really like Elden Ring, just even from, you know, coming from Souls and stuff like that. Starfield, I've lost interest, unfortunately. It just looks like another Bethesda game with that old ass engine. They need to really do something about that. Horizon Forbidden West, you know, I respect it for what it is. I haven't played the first one, so I can't really say much about it beyond what I've said. So, but you know, Zelda, it's Zelda, so I gotta pick it. I'm a Nintendo guy. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. So that's all the categories voted. So, that's all I'm gonna have for this video. So, while I do pick Metroid for Game of the Year, I feel like, I mean, it does have potential, but Village might take it, Psychonauts might take it, Takes Two might take it, right? I don't know. Something about it, man. Might just sneak up on this category here. It's a bit of a toss-up though. It's for sure. For sure, it was a toss-up in comparison to like Last of Us Part 2. I forgot what year was that one. I think that was 2020. So yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. Anyway, that's all. That's all I got, pretty much. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in for this video. If you have any comments or anything like that, leave them down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out, and I do appreciate it. So this has been my my voting and my choices and my opinions and stuff like that for the nominees for the Game Awards 2021. I do look forward to watching it. I might do a reaction video. I might do a reaction stream or restream, depending on how okay they're with it. I think it's open, right? I think everyone's allowed to do it. By the way, I'll react to it somehow. So, anyway, I do look forward to the reveals. I think they'll do the Warner Brothers Smash game that people have been talking about. I mean, it's real at this point, so it's not so much a secret anymore. Unfortunately, I mean, it could have been really cool to be a surprise, but you know how the internet is nowadays. But anyway, I'll definitely check it out. I'll definitely check out the show, and we'll see who gets what. So, yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.